All right. We are just about back from break. All right. While we settle back in, let's play a quick game. Write in the chat the amount of money you think you're supposed to want this year. This year. And then next to it, write the amount your soul actually craves. So the amount of money you think you're supposed to make, right? Versus what you actually crave. So who's got some answers for me? Just drop it in the chat for me. You think you're okay. So write the here we go. Write in the chat the amount of money you think you're supposed to want this year. You're supposed to want this year. And then next to it, write the amount your soul actually craves. So if what do I need, right? Or something like that. Like, what am I supposed to say? Like, what's the right answer? For me, I would say what, like, $150,000. But what do I really crave? Like, a million plus. Yeah, like I said it out loud. It was a little scary. It was a little, but right, you got to claim it. You got to claim it. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. What? 5 million from 100,000 to 5 million. Yes, exactly. Think bigger, right? Think bigger. So, because there's a difference. Strategy chases the first number. Legacy builds the second. All right. I tell you what, I my all of a sudden I don't has everybody else have Macs, right? I think a lot of us have Macs. For suddenly all of a sudden my fingers no longer work on the mouse pad. Um I don't know what's happening, but it's very strange. I can't like scroll, like it won't allow me to scroll, so I have to use different fingers than the fingers I normally. Anyway, so um we're talking about how strategy chases the first, legacy builds the second. So I want you to breathe in and say to yourself, I release the fake goals I set to look good. I release the fake goals I set to look good. And as you're breathing out, I want you to claim the wealth that fuels your legacy. A lot of times we say what we downplay our intentions because we want others to come. I have in the past, a lot of times, because I know I actually have some friends that have stepped out of my friends because it was too much for them to contemplate being in a friend circle with somebody like me who strives to make millions, who strives not, and it's not just about the money for me. That is part of my intention, is striving to make millions, because if I'm making millions, that means I am impacting the amount of people that I am here to impact upon the earth, right? So there's a direct, some of those around me, it's just too much to take. It's too much for them to comprehend. And this is alignment. It's alignment when we claim what we're actually seeking, when we're able to be honest and authentic. And you don't need to be after millions. No one says you have to want to be a millionaire. You can want just to be comfortable. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no shame in anyone's game. There's no room for judgment in any way. It's what's best for you. It's just about being in alignment with it. If you're seeking millions, feel like you can say I'm seeking millions. If you're looking to have a comfortable life, then that's it. Then say just that. I'm looking to just have, I want to have a comfortable life, not just, excuse me. I want to have a comfortable life, right? I There's nothing wrong with what you want, and there's no reason to downplay it, no matter how big or how small. All right. Now, quick nervous system reset before we keep going. Just really quickly, close your eyes, breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, drop your shoulders, soften your jaw, and ask yourself the question, what do I need less of? What do I need less of? Then what do I need more of? You can drop those answers in the chat. When we take a moment and we breathe and we allow it to drop, did you notice how fast, quick answers can come through? Right? It's the whisper you ignore when you're hustling, right? When we're hustling, we don't hear as clearly. But when you learn to follow, when you learn to stop, when you learn to take a minute, your business moves from grind and into grace. All right. The moment I've been waiting for, and I know I have been too. Get ready because this next goddess brings pure energy activation wherever she goes. I know because she is near and dear to my heart. Massy R, or Massy Rodriguez, isn't just a speaker. She's my current mentee, and I only take one mentee a year. And right now, that's Massy. But she's so much more than that. She's a student, she's a client, but she's my friend. We have been friends for so long now. We met in a container several years ago. Well, more than several years ago now. And I've just had such a privilege. We've had the privilege of growing together, and I've had the privilege of watching her expand and embody and rise in ways that are nothing short of breathtaking. Massy is an abundance activator and energetics coach with a gift for helping entrepreneurs align their energy with abundance, flow, and expansion. She works with the chakras and powerful intuitive insights to help you unlock your next level. And the results? Magnetic. And today, she's going to be sharing her talk with us, the chakras of business, shifting the energy of your business for aligned abundance. So take a deep breath, open your energy, and let Massy show you how to how to plug your business straight into the frequency of abundance. We don't want to unplug. We definitely want to plug in. We definitely want to plug in. Uh, most definitely. Oh, hello, hello, hello. Oh, my love, it is so good to see you.
Same, same. Thank you so much for having me. This is such an honor.
Oh my gosh, I'm just so glad. We have done so many things together. Massy and I have run retreats together. We've done classes together. We've done lives together. We've done so many amazing things together, and we've gotten to hang out just as friends, like in real life, like not just online. I intentionally take trips out now just so I can see Massy. And of course her lovely family. So her beautiful girls. So anyway, that's enough. That's enough about me going on. Let's talk about Massy. Massy, I have some questions that I've been asking each one of our speakers that has come to join with us. And what we're really talking about is where you got started from, how you got started, things like that. And we really want to hear what you have to say. So I want to start out with, what inspired you to start your business, and what was the very first step you took to bring it to life?
Okay. Like, which business should I go off of? Because I've started many different businesses. I want to take it back to the beginning because I feel like everything has kind of like evolved from that, right? Even though now it's completely different. Every time it's felt like a new beginning. So it's like a new spark each time, but it all stemmed from the same root, which is like that business I started like about 10 years ago now, which was my first wellness, my wellness business. So what sparked that at the time, I was working corporate. I was working a lot of hours. I was what you consider a workaholic in the corporate space. And, I was in that mentality that you have to like, just, the American dream, basically, like how you have to hustle your way through corporate and scale and scale and scale and grow and climb that corporate ladder. And then at one point I realized like, there's only so far this ladder can go, one. Two, I'm somebody who loves to travel. And even though I worked for a company that did allow me to travel for work, I wanted to travel for pleasure and not just for work. So part of it was just that freedom to like manage my own schedule, not have to ask a boss for permission when I want vacation or time off. And also more so making an impact. Like I feel like I wasn't like I feel like I was like doing everything on paper that was quote unquote good. I had a good salary, I had a good job, but I didn't feel fulfilled, and I didn't feel like I was really making much of an impact in my community, and like, you know, like just didn't feel heart, like my heart wasn't in it anymore. So part of what started it back then was that freedom to just like be my own boss and have my own business to really help others. So I started off building a community for people to come together, and I started with like meditation and yoga, mindset work. I mean, I've been working with the chakras since then, so it's since 10 years ago. So it started with that. And sorry, I feel like I digressed from the question. What sparked it was what you asked. What sparked it, like what made it the first. So the first initiation to like starting my own business, honestly, at that time, I think it was more like that, this naive, I don't even know what's the right word, right? Like I just feel like I had no fear. I had no doubt. I was like, I'm just gonna do this, even though everybody was like, you know, that's not gonna be successful. That's not the route. That's not what you do. Like you have a great job. What are you doing? You can't do that just yet. I was just like, forget all that noise. I just went and got my LLC. I started my business and I built a community pretty quickly at that time. And from there it's evolved to like I shut that down and started a new one, and shut that down, started a new one. But it's all been an evolution of that initial spark.
I love it. That's such generator energy too. You're like, I just went for it. Like people are like, not a good idea. And I'm like, that's okay. I got this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
It
like,
was so like, I don't know what the right word is, not naive, but like what's the word? Like
that's passion, honey. You just followed. You were like, no, I've got this. Like,
it just like,
no
yeah.
way. You just know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to go with something and you knew you had with it. And I love that you didn't let, because like you're pretty, you repeated it a couple of times that everyone said bad idea, right?
Yeah.
And
Even
yet,
my mentor at the time, when I remember, because at that time I remember I just had become a teacher for yoga, a yoga teacher. Like the yoga teacher, leader, trainer, whatever. When we finished the whole thing and I got my certification, I was like, I want to just start my own studio. She's like, oh no, you got to work, you got to build to that. You can't just go straight into that, and you can't just go straight to one-on-one clients. You have to like work for a studio and build a community and build a following. And I was like, that seems like it's gonna take way too long. I'm not waiting for all that. And like even with my prices, you know, she was like, you got to start charging low and do free classes. And I was like, what? No, like, what do you mean? And I just went straight to like charging higher prices than what she even charged at the time. And she told me not to charge those prices. And I was like, I'm not going to listen to you. Clearly, you trained me. And if you're charging that, why shouldn't I be charging that or more? And I did. And I got like, I remember getting my first couple of clients and being like, oh my God, people are actually paying me this much for like this thing. I don't know. And it just went from there.
I love that. I love that you're like, and I jumped out there and I charged more than she was. And I love that you listened to your intuition, because your intuition was telling you, jump. This is the time to jump. And you jumped and you didn't listen to, even though she was supposed to be your mentor at the time. We can have mentors that still have like everybody. There's this big misnomer, right? We think we are supposed to have all of our stuff together. Otherwise, our clients are going to figure out we don't have all of our stuff together. And then what? Well, the fact of the matter is we are all still humans, right? And so is your mentor. And so we can all still have fears. And sometimes we can project those fears even at the most inappropriate times, and that being with a client, which is why it is so important to monitor yourself as a coach, first of all, right? Because that was her fear, stepping out and saying, oh
Yeah.
my, I didn't have, look at her, she's going to do better than me. Like whether she realized it or not, those are probably a
Yeah.
lot of the things that were coming up. She's going to take my business. She's going to step right better than I am. Like, you know what I mean? Really, before sort of like parents, like we want you to do better than we did. I mean, isn't that why we're in business, right? Because we're supposed to be making it easier for the next generation of whatever it is we're helping train and bring into the world, right? So I am so glad, because it would have changed your entire trajectory and we wouldn't be here today sitting in the summit. You and I wouldn't have met the years ago that we did I mean, like everything would have changed, right? If you hadn't have taken that first step and said, I'm not listening to this, I'm going for it.
Yeah.
Talk about honoring your design, whether you realize that's what your design was at the time or not. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Uh,
love it. You are such an inspiration. You always have been to me since the moment I met you. One of the reasons why I reached out immediately was like, we're going to be friends, okay? All right. So tell me, looking back, what was the turning point or breakthrough that really shifted you from just starting out to gaining traction?
What was the breaking point?
What was the turning point? Like what but you said you actually had business like right out the gate, right?
I did, and that was my first one. And then, yeah, I mean, every other evolution from that, I feel like it changed. Then I had like another business that was like a whole wellness movement, that expanded to another country and everything. And then from there, like then I went to like more coaching and programs and things like that. So yeah, they've all been, and I've had different doubts and things like, and I feel like it's funny enough as the years evolved went on, I almost kind of started to more listen to like mentors and things like that. And they did get in my head a little bit. We're like, oh, you're playing too big. You got to slow it down, or you can't just jump into that. And that did get in my head a little bit for a while. So I kind of like went like this, and then I kind of did this for a bit. And and then I've been balancing back ever since. But like what was the thing that really made it turn into like a business, is what you said?
What gave you traction? What really gained traction for you? Was it
Um,
learning as you went? Because what I'm hearing is like as with each evolution of business, you learned more, put more, and pieced and put
yeah,
together like a lot of us where we evolved and now we have these templates that we use or blueprints, whatever you want to call them with our clients because of all the things we pieced together. Um, and so that's what I'm sort of hearing from you is that through each evolution with each different business you've had, you've expanded your knowledge base and what you have to offer,
yeah.
and that's helped you gain the traction inside with your clients because you have more to offer, right? You have more insights, more understanding, and such a big toolbox now, right?
Yeah. So it was just trusting, yeah, trusting those intuitive hits, trusting like now it's time to pivot to this, evolve to that, now this, right? And it's just like just being a active participant, I guess, in my own journey of just following those nudges of like where to go next. And like as I've done that, like that's gained more and more traction because like I'm just really being authentic to like what I truly want to offer instead of feeling like I have to get stuck here because that's what I chose at the beginning.
Yes. Tell me, what was one of the biggest challenges you faced scaling? And what did it teach you about being a CEO in your own business?
Okay, repeat that one more time because I'm really
All
trying
right.
to.
What are what was one of the biggest challenges you faced scaling? For myself, it was getting all of my stuff into place, getting all of my procedures down, figuring out, my funnel, so to speak, things like that. That was one of my biggest challenges was getting all of my things into place, ready to go so that I could sell with ease. Like so that I could actually go out and look for clients and have everything in place instead of trying to, one email at a time, one
Yeah.
this at a time, one
Yeah.
that at a time.
Yeah, I mean, with that said, there's been a couple of challenges, but definitely that because I'm somebody that I'm more like the idea person, the visual, the vision, but the nitty-gritty of like being organized with the admin stuff and the tech and the automations and the funnels and this that was tough. And this I still struggle a little bit with that, right? I wish somebody could just take that over. So that's probably the biggest challenge. But more so it's me getting out of my own head of making having this belief that everything has to be so hard. Because when you have this belief, like, oh, this is going to be so hard, that makes it even harder. That's where procrastination comes into play. And I am still guilty of it at times. So it's really like the biggest challenge has been getting out of my own head and like thinking, okay, it doesn't have to be hard. And this is where like the chakras came in of like me just getting balanced and trusting like my own internal guides, right? To like really like guide me, okay, this is what's important and this is what to like to um to evolve within the energy of your business. So it was more that. It was more like this notion I had in my head that like in order for things to work, it has to be really hard. And I used to celebrate when I overcame the hard. And I had to catch myself at one point and be like, why am I so excited to talk about all the hardship I went through instead of just like it's almost like I was looking forward to things that were really hard to say I overcame this other hard thing. Like I could do hard things. That was like the logo, right? And it's like, why does it have to be so hard? It doesn't really have to be that hard. So that was
You're,
probably my biggest challenge that I've
I
overcame.
love I love that. It's the motto. I overcame the hard. And it was like it was like a badge of honor. When I first started, like because you were taught it's gonna be hard. Expect it to be hard. Did I mention expect it to be hard? Like everybody was telling you that every turn.
So we
It's
make
gonna
it
be
harder.
hard. And so eventually you're like, okay, check me out. I survived the hard for today.
And
And
if it
the
wasn't
next day,
hard, I didn't feel like it was good enough.
right? Did you catch that? Did everyone catch what she just said? She didn't feel like she felt like if it wasn't hard, it wasn't good enough. Oh, oh, no. Right? Like, no. Oh, right. Oh, Massey, that just like stopped me in my tracks, right? It is so true.
Yeah.
So true. Okay, so let's just let that mic drop moment set for just a second. It does hard is not the intention nor the goal. It is not what makes you worthy. All right, now that that's out there. All right. Who or what kind of support made the biggest difference in helping you move from those challenges into success?
Oh my gosh, so many things and so many people, you included. I mean, some of the women in this container right now were part of it. So many different mentors and just people I reach out to support. And I've always been somebody that like I try not to stay stuck with something on my own for too long. So I'm always seeking out communities or like mentors or like, so that I don't get stuck in my own head so much. So oh my gosh, so many incredible women. Like I could throw out many names out there, but Bunny, you included, my friend Laura, who's here, my other mentor, Katrina, who mentored me for a while before. Like they've all been such pivotal inspirations and like just the giving me different knowledge points of like, how to propel forward in a way that feels good to me. It's been a lot of people.
That's beautiful, though. I love that you've had a lot of people. For a lot of the people in our audience, or they haven't found their person yet. For a lot of them, they've been through a lot and it didn't align. Right? We've all bought those courses. We've
Oh
all
yeah.
bought the programs. Right? So I just love that you've had such great success and have found such support. That says so much for our community as women, right? I feel like our community of women is really growing and we're really starting to see beyond each other as competitors, right? I don't know. Like by the time I give my talk at the end of today, people are going to realize like everybody I had on is a direct competitor with me.
Mm.
That's because I'm not meant to work with every single person that shows up. And I
Yeah.
know that. And I trust that those that are aligned to work with me will work with me. I trust that those that are aligned to work with you will work with you, although we work together. So guess what? You get us both. But yeah, so I just love and you're one of those women. You're one of the women that actually picked me up and showed me that women can support each other. You were one of the first women that didn't I've talked about this earlier in the summit about how I love when we were kids, you could just run up to somebody on the playground, grab their hand and go, "We're friends now." Right? And that was just how it worked. But you can't do that as adults, but you let me do that. I tell
I do that
through
all the time. I do that all the time. I have a few people on here too that I've met that way. That was like, hey, we're gonna be friends now. Literally.
now. Right? So I love that you are one of the people that not only does that, but allows others to do that because I think that's such an important part that we're missing in our lives that we can't
Yeah.
just go, hey, let's be friends now. So, and that leads to all that support inside of the community, inside of your business, inside of just life in general, because who can't use a little more support? So tell me, if you could go back to your earlier CEO, like Brandy knew, what's one piece of advice about alignment, growth, or success that you would give yourself? What would it be? What would be one piece of advice, alignment, growth, or success that you would
Okay.
give that brand new CEO you?
The biggest piece of advice will probably be trying to word this correctly because I feel like the biggest thing for me back then was like that external validation. right? So it's more like just keep trusting your vision, and I did, but there were times when like those, you know, those negativity, or even just for example, like when you were like showing up on socials and things like that, just don't worry about the external validation of like how many likes did it get, how many people commented, how many people joined, because that doesn't matter. So just I would just tell that girl, just keep going, even if it looks like it's not working, because as long as you trust your vision, it will work. It will work if you just don't give up. And at that time, I think part of what made me pivot so many times, if I'm really transparent and honest, was that I wasn't getting that external validation. Like, are people liking this? This is not working. Even though I really believed in it, because I didn't see the results right away, I was like, okay, maybe this is not it. Let me go to something else. And maybe that's not it. Maybe go to something else. So just, I just want to tell that girl, like, just stay in your path. It will work. It will work.
You hit the nail on the head, especially for us Manny Gens. Like, we're quick to switch gears already anyway.
Girl, the shiny syndrome, yeah, right?
I
Like
love it. Yes, shiny syndrome, exactly. So, but it's that trust, right? It's that taking that moment and saying,
trust yourself.
I love you being so honest, because I did. I ditched an entire business for the same reason. I was like, obviously, this isn't working. Like, I don't have any likes. Nobody likes me. Never gonna happen. Done. Shut it down. Right? That long time ago. Like, and there's not still days that I don't have moments, right?
Oh.
So, but yes, if I could have known just earlier on, if I could have had that little bit of like you whispering in my ear, like, it's okay. Who knows, right? Hey, I
Mhm.
didn't give up on this one, and the dream is come true. So here we go. All
Yeah,
right. So
same.
what? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was like, yeah, I'm glad I like it took me a while, but yeah, I'm still here because I kept listening to it. Even though I pivoted a lot, like that's the advice I wish I had sooner, but like now I know that, and now it's like, okay, I'm sticking to my path.
Love
Mhm.
it. Tell me, what's one aligned practice, habit, or mindset you believe every entrepreneur needs if they want to hit six, seven, or eight, even eight figures without burning out?
Oh, you're breaking up a little bit for me. Sorry, repeat the beginning of that.
No problem. What's one aligned practice, habit, or mindset you believe every entrepreneur needs if they want to hit six, seven, or even eight figures without burning out?
Mm, okay. There's a couple, but I'm trying to narrow it down to like no more than one or two. The first thing is to like, as a CEO, as an entrepreneur, your energy is so important. And which is why I'm a true believer of going back to the core of the chakras, because like if your energy is off, no amount of strategy, or if your mindset or energy is off, no amount of strategy is going to get you to that six, seven figures, that business, because it needs to be that balance of both. Yes, you need strategy, you need to know, those things, but it's like the main piece of advice is like really stay on top of your energy and your business's energy too, which we're going to talk about. It's like that alignment within yourself. Like, am I mentally okay? Is this still something I'm passionate about? Just like really that nervous system regulation, if you want to call it, which is such a like hype word now. I feel like it's lost a little bit of its meaning, but it's true. Like if your system is not regulated, if your mind is all over the place, your business is going to suffer. So it's that. It is boundaries for me, boundaries and just taking care of your energy.
Absolutely. Couldn't say it better. Boom. Another mic drop. All right. You've chosen to share the chakras of business, shifting the energy of your business for aligned abundance as your presentation. So tell me why this piece is the one piece you felt CEOs watching today needed to hear most right now.
Yeah, because I feel like especially this day and age, and especially now with ChatGPT and all these other things, there's enough information out there for strategy, right? And creating a funnel and all this. And I feel like most CEOs that I've worked with, and most women in general that I've worked with that own their own business, they have the strategy, they have the things in place, but they're still in their head, they're still stressed, they're still like not happy. They still have days that they're like, oh, I'm burnt out. I'm going to burn this all to the ground. This is not working. And it's like, it's not a strategy thing. It's not a funnel thing. It's not another program that you need. It is the energy. Like your energy is off and your business's energy is off because you're not like some people like disregard this because it's too easy, right? Going back to the hard part would be to make another funnel, is to pivot my marketing strategy. But this is such a crucial piece, because like at some point you have to trust that you have the pieces in place. You have to trust in your funnel. You have to trust in your strategy. Now it's the energy. If something still feels off, it's the energy of your business and for yourself, because it's, it's both. They kind of work in sync together. But I chose this topic because I'm so tired of seeing really successful CEOs be at the point that they're so burnt out, that they're getting sick, that they're mentally just like, they're successful money wise, but they're just so unhappy. So, right. So this method is really like the next step to like really propel you to continue to scale in a way that is in alignment with you and your business, in a way that is fun, in a way that is just going to keep things alive, in a way that is beyond just you and making money, right? It's not making money for making money's sake. You want to build something that is empowering you to live the lifestyle that you actually want to live. And this method allows you to do that.
Love it. Absolutely love it. All right. Let's get those chakras buzzing, because Massy is about to align your business with pure abundance.
Hello, welcome to this incredible summit. Thank you so much for being here with me today. It is such an honor to be here with you all today, teaching on what may or may not be a really new concept to you in your business. Today, I truly invite you to be open-minded and just play with the realm of possibility here and really dive outside of the box on what business should look like. If you are a business owner or a CEO, which I'm sure most of you are, an entrepreneur, I am pretty sure you're familiar with this go, go, go hustle culture that, most of us have burned out from and that we have nothing to do with anymore. But it was like the culture, right? It's mainly like how we grew up, and like that mentality of like, in order to be successful, you have to work so hard. You have to like really hustle. You have to like put in all your energy into it. And at the end of it, you're left burned out, overwhelmed, overworked, and just not enjoying the business anymore. If you've been there, I feel you. I was there. I remember when I started my first business, and I've had I will say I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've had multiple businesses in the last couple of years. I've always had something. So I just remember when I first started, my first real business was around 8 years ago. And I just remember feeling like this like sense of overwhelm, like, oh my gosh, I have to do this, and I have to, get this certification. I have to maybe go to this coach, and I have to do this and that and that. And it was like, I have to follow this strategy. Oh, now I have to follow this strategy. Oh, now this is the tactic. And everything was like very go, go, go. Like I was working weekends, nights, missing birthdays, holidays. I was truly the definition of a workaholic. Plus, I had my own business and I had a full-time job where I was also a workaholic. So it was just like this mindset of like, if I want to be successful, like I have to hustle my ass off. And I just want you to like really think about that for a moment. If that is you, I honor you. And I want you to know that there is a better way. For a long time, I wondered, is there a better way? There has to be a better way. I'm doing all the right things, right? I'm showing up consistently. I'm posting constantly on social media, showing up in the, the email marketing, the this, the that. And for some reason, like, it's just, I was still feeling like something was off. And I was like, there has to be a better way to do this. So what I want you to contemplate today is that what if the thing that is keeping you stuck in your business is not a lack of strategy, is not the need for another funnel or a better marketing tactic? What if truly it is an energetic thing? What if it truly just is a blocked chakra or something that is just off in your business, but you can't pinpoint exactly what it is? First, let me properly introduce myself. My name is Massy R. I am an abundance activator. I am the founder of Well and Blooming. And this is really more so a movement of wellness and blooming with ease and scaling with ease, right? I have a ton of certifications under my belt. I won't dive into that. But really, what I want you to know is that my focus and my area of expertise is mindset, manifestation, mind, body, soul, and business alignment, right? Energetics, and really helping badass CEO women like yourself tap into your unique power to be able to show up with authenticity and really manifest with more ease, right? I really want you to take today's lesson and use it to propel you towards a life of abundance and intentional legacy. This is where everything gets to shift for you. This is where you get to think outside the box and outside of this hustle culture into like, okay, how can I energetically shift my business into more alignment, more flow, more abundance, more freedom? So for those of you who are brand new to this topic and you're wondering what are the chakras, Massy? You may or may not have heard of these, but usually if you have and you're in the very early stages of like learning about chakras, you know they're just like quote unquote in our bodies, right? Most people say like, okay, they're just 7 chakras and they're just inside our bodies, but they're these invisible energies. Maybe you can call them Wi-Fi routers, right? These are just like little power hubs of energy within your system that keep flowing, keep energy flowing between your physical body, your emotional body, your mind, and your spirit. So traditionally, these main 7 chakras are running alongside your spine, right? And each is tied to a different aspect of your human experience. So, all the way from survival, creativity, power, love, expression, intuition, purpose. How these are related to the body. But how are they related beyond the body is what I want you to contemplate today. Because the chakras are not just in your body, they are archetypal energies, universal principles that truly show up everywhere, not just in your body, but in your business, your relationships, the economy, even the collective consciousness that we're currently experiencing, right? So anytime one of our chakras, whether it's, again, an internal one or in our external world, anytime that one is blocked or maybe overactive in any of these areas, things are always going to feel off, right? And when it's flowing, when they're like their life force is flowing as it should, life and business gets to feel in alignment, it gets to feel good again. So what I really invite you to contemplate is, for a moment, imagine that your business is not just a structure of systems and spreadsheets, but a living, breathing being, an energetic entity of its own with its own heartbeat. Just like our bodies have energy centers or chakras, your business does too. So, treating your business like it has its own chakra system, it's really going to help you energetically align to your leadership and tune into deeper wisdom around where to pivot, where to nourish further, where to release in your business, what patterns you're holding onto that are keeping you stuck within your business. When any of these chakras are blocked, the whole business is going to feel off, right? But when they're aligned, oh, scaling feels so good, so in flow, and it does not have to feel like hustle, go, 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 or forced. I personally like to think of these as my board of directors. So each chakra represents a board of director in my business. And this is how I separate them for myself. But this honestly this can apply to any area of your business, in your life. So for your business specifically, I think each chakra all in a board of directors table per se, right? So, and these are all vital parts of our company's well-being. So, for example, the root chakra is your chief financial officer. The sacral chakra is going to be your creative director. The solar plexus chakra is the chief operating officer, right? The one that really makes those bold moves, that takes the action. Then there's the heart chakra, which is your chief of people. This is the business culture, the one that keeps those beautiful communications alive. Relationships, sorry, not communications. Head of communications is next. This is your throat chakra. And the throat chakra of your business, right, is in charge of all communication inward and outward of your business. Then there is your third eye chakra, which is the chief visionary officer, the visionary of the business, the one that has that broader perspective of like what you want the business to look like. And then there's the board chair. This is that higher consciousness energy. And I'll dive into each one briefly so that you have a deeper understanding of what they mean. I won't dive too much into it because I want you to like really take the time to study this on your own, and you'll have access to this. But the root chakra in your business, this is again the one that's in charge of stability, money, foundations. And when you feel maybe something's off in these areas, you'll see it in inconsistent income, fear around investing in certain things, or just chaos in your financial structure of your business. So the way through this particular block is going to be through grounding with budgets, clear pricing, structure that make you feel safe, that allow you to grow, and having that stability and freedom to pivot in your business, to feel safe again, and to be financially sustainable. Right. And then there is sacral chakra. This is the one responsible for relationships, creativity, joy. So when this particular chakra is blocked, this is when you're going to feel like you've lost excitement for your work, you're burnt out, you're overwhelmed. So shifting it back to the fun is key here. Discovering like what can make my business feel alive again? How do I introduce more play and pleasure into my business? And allow yourself to innovate instead of recycling, right? Really keep this sacral chakra alive by just like tapping into that feminine energy and that energy of growth and like just thinking from a creative perspective, right? And then there's the solar plexus, which is going to focus on taking action. This is all about building confidence, having boundaries in your business, really tapping into the leadership of your business, right? So this is going to show up as a block when you're second guessing yourself, micromanaging things, whether it's yourself or your team, giving your power away to trends or to other people's opinions, right? That is not in alignment with what you truly want. So the remedy here is to stand in your own CEO energy, make those decisive moves, and delegate with trust, remembering that your business is meant for you to lead it, not other people. Then there's your heart chakra, right? This is where we tap into back into, is my business still feeling heart led? Is my business still in alignment with what I truly love and the service that I want to provide? And really coming from a place of not obligation but overflow. And when it comes to giving, and like not over giving either, but just having that flow of, this is feeling really good to my heart right now. So if something feels off there, this is where I want you to visit this chakra. Then there's the throat chakra, right? This is the head of communications in your business. Whenever your voice or your messaging, your visibility is not really in alignment with where you want it to be, this is going to be blocked when you, for example, have inconsistent marketing, watered down content, just that fear of being too much and showing up in your true power. So this is where you get to take your power back in your business and really share boldly your authentic voice. Let your brand sing instead of whisper. And really, this is what's really going to allow people to trust you and keep working with you, is that authenticity in your voice. Then there's the visionary of your business, the third eye chakra. This is your intuition, the ability to see the bigger vision, the bigger picture. When this is blocked, you're literally going to feel like you're just spinning in confusion, spinning in circles, getting caught up in chasing trends or like what's going viral, right? Versus what's truly in alignment with you. That whole shiny object syndrome, right? So realignment here looks like anchoring back into your vision, your intuition, your strategy as a guide, right? Really trusting the bigger mission here. And then ending with our final board is the chair of the board. So this is your connection to something bigger, your connection to your purpose, the higher guidance. When this is blocked, this is where you hustle for worthiness and disconnect from your why, the deeper why of why you actually started this business in the first place. So I invite you to do a quick check-in and just ask yourself, which board member in my business truly needs my attention right now? Is it my CFO that's asking me for more stability? Is it my creative director that's begging me for more play and fun because this is getting so mundane and boring? Is it my head of communications that's ready to speak louder and I'm holding it back? Right? The beauty is that once you know which chakra is blocked, you will also know exactly how to bring it back into alignment. Right. This is what I teach. This is what I focus on, is helping you come back to the alignment. And that starts with awareness, right? So I do have a special gift for you all that's going to help you bring forth that awareness of where exactly is my business blocked. So I've put together a really incredible business chakra audit that you're gonna have access to right away as a thank you for being here. This is gonna get you crystal clear on where your business needs an energy boost and what to do with that and how to shift that energy. Also, because I'm feeling super generous, just because you're a part of the summit, I have also added a bonus of allowing you to have an alignment call with myself. I don't normally do these anymore, but I wanted to extend that to you guys at a very, very low price. So this is going to give you the opportunity to talk to me and go deeper in clearing whatever is feeling blocked, having a true chapter, not for your business, but for your life as well, because you are an extension of your business, right? This is where we're going to discuss the contemplations from that exercise, uncover any additional blocks that you may have missed, and discuss an actual roadmap for success for you. This is going to be a game changer in your business if you're already at that place where you've tried all the strategies, all the things, and something is still feeling off. This is what I want to leave you with, my love. Your business is alive. So treat it like a sacred partner. Listen to its energy. Lead it with alignment, because when you do, you're not just going to scale your business, but you're going to expand your impact, your abundance. You're going to feel so much more freedom. And that's just going to make you fall in love with your business all over again. And that's how it should be. Thank you so much for your time today. Please stay in touch. You can reach me on Instagram or via email. I'm sure Bunny has all that information in one place for you to access and contact me with any questions. Or just if you want to dive deeper into this and you found this interesting and you want to learn more, I'm happy to kind of dive deeper into it. That freebie that I put together for you is also going to give you more information. And yeah, I wish you the most beautiful, aligned success in your business. Have a beautiful day.
All right. Wonderful. Going to give you just one more second with that last slide. You can take a screenshot, you can pull out your camera, but we're also going to have all of that information for you inside of Bunny's Aligned Blessing Box, along with access to her freebie. All right. Thank you. And I just saw, I'm asking all these questions, and then you're like, and then I'm going to give you this call. And I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on. I can get all my questions answered there. Right. So the energy is flowing now. Woo, can you feel it? Thank you, Massy, for reminding us that our business has chakras too. And I love how you broke it down. Seriously, that was a really cool way to break that down using the boardroom. And what a fun way to make it work for the summit. I love that. See, that's creativity. That's being able to be your authentic self within your business. I haven't seen this anywhere else, right? I can tell it's got Massy written all over it. Like, I just love oh, really? I mean, I love this. I love it. I did something similar, just a little. I'm making something right now that's going to go up in my shop, where you compare human design to your house in Wizarding World. And so it made me think of this too when you did the board of directors. That's amazing. And what a great, and like they fit. So I love that. Thank you so much for reminding us that abundance is always, always, always available. We just need to work within our own energy. Yes. Thank you, Massy. I always love being with you. Don't forget to grab all of her information and her freebie and access to that call inside of Bunny's Aligned Black Blessing Box.
Thank you. This is so, so wonderful. And I'm super excited that we got to chat about this and I got to expose more people to this concept, because it is so important. And by the way, you can apply this to any area of your life, but obviously here, we wanted to focus on business, but I use this for everything, even like my own internal, just personal things. Like, that's my board of directors for my life, for my business, for everything. Like, you can follow the same process for so many different areas, and it really helps.
That is fabulous. And I didn't know if you saw in the chat there, I believe you said Katrina was a mentor at one point. Anyway, she says, beautiful presentation, so easy to digest and understand. And it was. Thank you, because and a lot of people don't understand how the chakras work, and it did make it very easy to understand. So thank you again for that. Thank you for joining us. Stay with us, I hope. We're going to just take a really quick break because I am going to be the last one on. Like I said earlier, if you missed it, we had a shift in schedule. We have one of our speakers just found out she is blessed and expecting, but that also means she is not feeling terribly well. And so she had to decline on being able to come in today. But That's all part of owning your own business and being the CEO. You get to say, sorry, can't make it today. Since you're the boss, you call the shots. So, and it's okay. It happens, right? This is all part of pivoting. Notice like, and when I first got started, this would have been something that would have freaked me out so bad. Somebody canceling last minute and saying they couldn't make it. I would have been just a ball of nerve and like, what do I do now? And panic. These days, it's all about divine timing. I just roll with like whatever the universe provides. And sometimes that means pivoting right in the actual moment. And that's okay. It's okay. For those of you new to your own business, this happens. Things are going to come up. And sometimes you will be the one that has to call last minute and say, can't do it. Again, this is one of the beautiful parts of owning and being the CEO of your own business is you get to have that kind of flexibility when you really need it. Right. All right. So we'll be back. We're only going to take about 10 minutes here, 10 minutes, and we'll be right back to finish out the summit. Thank you, everyone. And we'll see you back here in 10 minutes. Thank you, Massy. Woo! See you when we get back.